Hello! Welcome you!
Hello! You are in for a cracker of a week.
We have an amazing one for you today. This isn't just the best one we've done. I think it's the bestest one we've done.
Setting the bar high there.
This is going to be up there in the flipping clouds.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of guests this week. That is why we think it's going to be so good.
It's going to be good.
It's not just us. It's not just us, which is great.
We don't have to just see this mug. You have to see everyone.
I love it.
Guys, we are going to start with the fun thing. The most interesting part.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to play with. Play with? What am I talking about? We're going to start with the
notices. When I say notice, you say sis. Notice.
Sis.
Notice.
Sis.
Let's have the notice.
Can we hear you say sis?
No, you're going to have to say
Oh, they don't know the word sis.
notice.
Oh, sis.
There we go.
Oh, okay,
So,
here we go. So, straight in, Lucy, what's the first one?
Well, first thing is Zoom room
Ooh.
change.
What's happening with the Zoom room?
Well, we're going into a kind of connect group structure. So it's changing.
Cheeky.
So you will have someone contact you this week or sometime soon.
They may contact your parent instead.
To let you know which group you are in and who you are going to be with. So yeah, that's the first one. What's
Brilliant.
next?
Second one, prayer meetings. Guys, we led the prayer meeting on Thursday and we had 5 or 6 of you come and join us. If I don't mention your name, I'm sorry. Daniel Sun, Thomas White, Lily Butcher, Lauren Corbett. Anybody else who I've missed? I can't remember. I'm very sorry if I've forgotten you.
Thank you so much for being there. It was awesome. It was great to pray for the older generation because they are so awesome and say thank you God for them. So yeah, thank you so much if you made it, and thank you for doing the actions because I think you really influenced the rest of them.
But
I wouldn't have done it without you.
But this isn't a time to stop right now. There is lots and lots and lots of prayer meetings.
Yeah.
Monday through to Friday, you can come and join us. On Thursdays at 1 p.m, me and Lucy will still be leading them. And so, yeah, come and join us. But come and join us on any day if you can't. But here's my challenge to you. Try and come to a prayer meeting at least once a week. There are 2, one at 8:30 and one at 1 p.m. every single day. And then on weekends, on a Saturday, there's one at 10 o'clock.
And there is no excuse because Ben and Becca Corbett, every morning, they are working, they're typing on their computer here, they're praying here, typing here, praying here.
It's the most obvious thing, but you know what?
But at least they're there, and they're
good.
Praying. It's great, they're part of the church, they're being part of the church in those meetings. I loved it, love it!
You guys are part of the church, do it, come along.
Okay, next thing.
Around the world! Who's forgot about around the world?
Oh, I don't know. I have forgotten around the world.
Oh, Lucy, tell them what's going on with around the world.
So, remember, around the world is... It's the challenge that the church is doing to try and raise money for domestic abuse, victims of domestic abuse, a charity that is sponsoring them. So you can make sure that you are getting your miles in. That could be running, that could be walking, that could be cycling, that could be any form of exercise or movement that you can get, and make sure you send your miles in to, I can't remember the email, aroundtheworld.com or something.
It will be in the link below.
And you can also donate some money as well on the GoFundMe page, which will also be in the link below this video.
All for your sanctuary, who are supporting people who are being affected by domestic abuse.
Which is great.
It's a great cause. Also, you get fit while doing it. Why not, hey?
Yeah.
Send your distances. Lisa's just put it in the description right now. Well, not in the description, in the comments.
Yeah.
And there is an email.
And Lisa Tooley is in charge. She has a beautiful, colourful spreadsheet. It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful spreadsheet.
So,
alright, and the last notice is Lucy Humphreys. What is it?
Well, on Sundays we have got live streaming church.
Oh,
which
do
you
we?
can come and join us for. The link is live.welcomechurch.com BFG.online. So you can come and join us at 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock or at 6 o'clock.
On what website was that again, sorry?
That is
live.welcomechurch.online.
So do please come and join us. It'd be great to see you there. You can type a little message and say, hi, I'm here. So that'd be great to see you there. Okay, are we done?
Guys, we're going to go on to the next bit.
Ooh.
We have 2 live challenges in a row, just for your faces.
So,
first one we have is interactive. If you don't have the comments of YouTube right now open in front of you, you're going to want them.
You're going to lose if you don't.
This is a commenting round.
Yeah.
This is literal movie titles, and I'm going to hand over to the lady herself, Lucy Humphries.
And before we start, I do have a confession. Zach Petch, I have stolen this from you.
Ooh.
And I have also to confess that I have used this now in many, many quizzes.
4 or 5 times.
It's been very popular. Very popular.
Can I say though, if you are part of our life group, so leaders we're talking to right now, you cannot.
Lisa Chuli, I see you. No, you're not allowed to comment. Zach Petch, no. Okay. Crispy, no.
Get out of here.
No commenting.
No commenting.
Because you know the
answers.
Right. Oh, okay.
Oh, by the way, just to say, apparently there is no 6 p.m. one, so don't turn up at 6 p.m. There's no point.
So, what you have to do, it's a literal movies round, so everything I'm going to say is the name of a movie, but in literal terms. So the example I have got is Poultry Sprint. Poultry Sprint. And that is Chicken Run. Do you see? Because it's poultry, which is chicken, and run, with a sprint, which is run. It's clever.
So,
it's clever.
Lucy's going to say, we've got 5. And what the thing is if you get it right, you get a smile from my face.
And my face? No?
Like that. Guys, the first one wins glory.
So, you've got to get your fingers ready. Everyone get your fingers ready, do some exercises. Yeah, stretching. Lock them together.
Stretch out.
Stretching backwards. Do some wiggling. Yeah, you're ready. Okay.
Here we go.
The first one, you've got to type your answer in the comments as
right
quick
now.
as you can.
The first one to do it, we will give you the point.
And a smile. Okay. The first one is The Divine Parent. Ooh. Think about what's another word for divine, or who might be divine, and what's another word for parent?
The divine
parent.
Oh, Lauren Corbett, straight in with that one.
It is
Lauren Corbett, well
you
done.
You get a smile, Lauren Corbett. Ready?
That was an open mouth smile.
Okay, next one.
Just for you.
This one is Plaything Narrative.
Plaything narrative.
Plaything narrative.
What's a plaything and what is another word for a narrative?
Ooh, get your answers in now. Plaything narrative.
Oh, Stefan! Well done, mate.
Yes.
Do you know what you get for that? Oh, you got a cheeky smile for
well
that.
Well done, you. Okay, next one. This one is a toughie. Even Ben said this is a toughie. I said if you know your superheroes.
Ben Corbett?
No, Ben Haler.
Oh, Ben Haler.
I said if you know your superheroes, you'll know this one. But he said no, this is hard. Okay, so this is a real challenge.
This is a difficult one.
Okay. The gloomy swordsman gets up.
The gloomy swordsman gets up.
Ooh, what is it? It's a hard one.
The gloomy swordsman gets up.
Oh.
Welcome Youth knows.
That's because you heard them earlier. Stop cheating. Whoa! Simpson family. Well done. Oh, Lauren Corbett just.
Do you know what you get for that? Ooh.
That's well done. I'm very. Oh, good try. Not Return of the King. No. Next one. This one's slightly easier, so you need to be quick on this one.
Pretty easy one. Coming right for you.
Metal person.
Metal person.
Metal person.
What is it? Ooh. First one in. Oh!
Yes. Voltage. Whoever you are.
Big man.
Well done.
He's right in there with Iron Man.
And
that is the right answer.
You get a smile. Ding.
Oh.
Well done. Right, next one. I do actually have a bonus question because I think it's really good.
Oh!
Now, Zach, I've gone off piste here. This is not one of yours, so you won't know this one.
You're not going to know.
It's not too hard.
Voting.
It's not too hard.
No voting.
Okay. The next one is Charming and the Creature.
Charming and the Creature.
Charming and the Creature.
Charming and the Creature.
What is it? What is it?
Yes, Stefan! 2 in a row.
And the Bee.
Ready? Ready?
Oh.
We're gonna...
Right, so give me a countdown. No, go back. Give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Ding!
Oh!
Okay.
Lovely one right there.
And I got one more for you, because I quite like this one. It is a children's film.
Children's film?
But it's great children's film. A Big Hairy Knot.
A Big Hairy Knot.
A Big Hairy Knot.
K-N-O-T.
Doesn't actually have to be a big hairy knot, but
hairy and big.
family.
Oh, give them that. Everyone at home right now, come on.
Yes, Leah Capote, it was, but you went fast enough. Ah, sorry. You get a smile. And then we could do it together.
Okay, we'll do the dolphin. Ready?
Dolphin.
Just for you, Simpson.
Well done, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Right, we have got another live game.
We've got a tray.
We got some flour.
We're going to put it in the middle of said tray.
Ooh, this is weird flour because it is
Oh no! Whoa! Chill out. Wow, you're using it all.
Why not?
Look at this dust.
Oh, it's disgusting. This is chickpea flour or something weird. So we didn't want to use proper flour because Dad was like, no, we're running out. So I was like, okay, what? Have you got anything else? And they were like, yeah, just use this.
Ram flour.
Just weird
Alright,
flour.
so the competition
is...
What we're going to do is we're going to play rock, paper and scissors.
Yeah.
So,
Rock,
whoever
paper,
loses...
scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
I'm going to take my earrings
has
out.
to dunk his or her face in. Okay, get your votes in. Who's going to win this first round? We'll do 2 rounds. Who's going to win the first one?
What, 2 rounds?
Couple of rounds.
Ready?
Alright, ready. Hang on, we'll do a practice. So what are we doing? Is it rock, paper, scissors, go?
Yes.
Or is it rock, paper, and on scissors you throw it out?
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Thank you, Leah Capote, you legend.
No! This is too
Alright, ready? I'm really nervous.
So am I, come on.
I really don't want to do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, go! Oh, things are so. Rock, paper, scissors, go! Oh, no! Rock, paper, scissors, go!
Oh! No, you don't dunk my face!
Yes, I do! Okay.
We've got an addition this time.
No! Oh, this is bad! Oh, don't go on your nice super shit.
Alright, we've got an egg to join in the mix.
Okay, right. We've got to do rock, paper, scissors.
Let me mix it in.
Okay. Right, ready?
Not really.
Rock, paper, scissors, go!
Look at that egg off there.
Oh man, it's great.
Oh, it's all in my spit.
It's all over my leg. Let's do one more round, okay?
I like how you're losing. You're winning and you think it's hilarious. Alright, this is the winner of all.
Gosh.
Oh, it's all in my eyes.
Ready, come on. Rock, paper, scissors, go!
You're such a fucktard!
Get your face in there!
Alright, let me mix it up. Alright, while I'm picking myself up, I'm going to go and hand over to Ben. I may or may not be for the next bit.
Evening everybody, great to see you I'm out once again on the sights and sounds and wonders of the Basingstoke Canal, and I thought I'd ask you a very quick question to start today. Have you ever had to be really patient when you'd rather not? When I was a younger person, I was incredibly impatient. I always wanted to get things as quickly as possible. I always wanted to achieve things as fast as I could. A classic example of this is learning to drive. When I was learning to drive, I was spending my holidays in the UK learning to drive, and then I would go back to South Africa for school during the term. So I'd only learn to drive in very short snippets. And on the day before my driving test, my instructor turned to me and said, if you were not flying back to South Africa in 2 days, I would not be letting you take this driving test tomorrow. Well, it's like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm a great driver. Anyway, went on, took the test, passed. 1 minor short of a fail. 15 minors. It's fine, no majors. And he passed me. And I was so chuffed. Until I had my first accident about 2 months later. And then my second accident a few months after that. And the look on my dad's face was not one of pleasure or pride. There you have it. Sometimes it's better to be patient and wait for things. And we're going to learn a bit later about how David has had to be patient in waiting to become the King of Israel, and how God sometimes teaches us lessons in those times of waiting. I'll see you in a bit.
So Noz is still clearing himself up, but thank you so much, Ben, for that first segment. I have been in a car with Ben.
It's scary.
And yeah, he's alright. I mean, Noah's just as scary if I'm honest, but you know, that's alright. Right, so we're going to go on to our next segment, and it's quite relevant actually, because this is a friend tag quiz. So we've got Ben and Joel, who are very good friends, to answer some questions about each other, and we're going to see what their answers were. Did they answer the same, different? Let's see what they said. Over to them.
It's raining, there's thunder and lightning, it's freezing cold, but Noah wanted me outside to answer questions about Ben, so here I am. Far away, Bev, make them quick.
First question. Who's more likely to go to jail and what for?
I think neither of us are likely to go to jail. I think we're fairly safe. But if I had to choose one, probably Ben, because he lost the game of tennis and then hit the opposition player with his tennis racket.
Me. Road traffic violation.
Who's better looking?
Me, obviously. Next question.
Me. Younger me. Definitely. I don't have Justin Bieber hair.
Who's a better driver?
That isn't even a question, Noah. If Ben answers himself to that one, he's lying. I'm definitely a safer driver, better driver. Every way you could measure, I'm a better driver than Ben.
Me. Joel.
Right.
Who would win an arm wrestle?
Yeah, maybe I'll give that one to him. Definitely, he beat me on strength. Maybe I'll be able to wind him up, distract him a bit, and chance of winning, but probably give that to him.
Who would win in an arm wrestle?
Me.
Who's a better hugger?
I don't know, I've never hugged myself. So, I don't know. If he gives that to himself, maybe he hugs himself a lot. So I'll give that one to him. I don't know what my hugs are like.
Who's a better hugger?
Me.
Who makes the best food?
Best food. Ooh. This is a close one. But Ben's good with the pasta, makes his own pasta. Not so good on the braai, but he's a good barbecuer. So maybe I'll give that one to him. He's got more variety. I can cook a mean dish, but I'll give that one to him.
Who's a better singer and prove it?
Prove it. Okay, listen to Ben. There you go. I'm a better singer. Proved.
Joel. I'll let him prove it.
What's the other person's eye colour?
Oh yeah, easy. Ben's eye colour is brown, hazel,
Blue,
blue, dark blue,
grey,
green, slightly orange.
hazel.
If you can just stick the right one in, Noah, that'd be great.
Who's more organised?
Joel.
I think I'm more organised.
Who said I love you first?
No idea.
So I love you first. It's a bit of rain in the face. No idea. If he remembers this really well, I'm very, very sorry, Ben. Maybe I'll give it to you. Maybe Ben, maybe you said it first. No idea. We'll say Ben.
And that's it.
Done.
Wow,
Brilliant.
you guys know each other just so well.
You really know each other's eye colour, yeah. I'm
He's
really
got
impressed by
blue,
that.
green, yellow, sludgy blue. Lucy's got
Oh.
sludgy green eyes.
Right, let me tell you a story about my hen do. So we had like this, a Mr. and Mrs. quiz type thing. And they recorded Noah answering the questions. And when he was asked what colour are Lucy's eyes, he said,
Sludgy green.
how romantic.
Oh,
How
I just love how
romantic.
sludgy and green they are.
Yeah, check them out, sludgy green. Anyway, we forgot to do this. There is a birthday in the house tonight.
What? Hang on a second. A birthday?
Yeah,
Whose?
it's Abigail's birthday.
Abigail?
Yeah, so I think we should sing a little happy birthday. Are you ready?
We'll bring it up. Okay, if you're not joining in at home, be writing in the comments.
Ready?
Okay.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abigail. Happy
Happy birthday!
I hope you have an amazing day. Have had an amazing day.
Yeah, and we hope you're having fun on this youth Zoom thing. What are we on? YouTube. Okay.
YouTube!
Fantastic. Right. Now.
We're going to
Got.
go right in to another section from the Ben Corbs.
Ben Corbs, over to you.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to carry on talking about the story of King David this week, and we pick up the tale just after where we ended last week. Remember, David has defeated Goliath. He is that great champion of the nation of Israel. He's put the Philistine army to flee. And as you can imagine, during this time, David becomes incredibly popular with the Israelites. We read in the Bible in 1 Samuel 18 and 19 how they start to make songs about him. They say, Saul has struck down the Philistines in their thousands, but have you heard of David? He struck them down in their tens of thousands. How do you think Saul begins to react to this? Not very well, let me tell you that much. He begins to get very jealous. In fact, he starts to plot to kill David. He tries to send him out to fight battles that he shouldn't really win and should actually die. But every time, David comes back unharmed. And Saul gets more and more jealous and plots to murder David by his own hand. In steps in what is really one of the most unlikely saviours. See, David had a best mate. In fact, he was Saul's own son and heir, Jonathan. We read that after the Goliath incident, when David had defeated Goliath, Jonathan steps over to David and says, I love you as myself. The ultimate bromance, even bigger than Joel and myself. He gave him his cloak,
He gave him his armor, he gave him his sword. In a way, some commentators say he foreshadowed giving David the crown, although we don't know that for sure. But either way, him and David were incredibly close. And so Jonathan steps in and intervenes with his father. Walking in a field, says, don't kill David. Look at all the good he's done. Look at how he has helped you. And so Saul says, okay, I won't, and invites David back into his service. It doesn't take long, however, for that green-eyed monster to start to reappear again, and Saul starts to get jealous, and he plots once again to murder David. This time David's wife, one of Saul's daughters, it is like EastEnders on steroids, I tell you. Just one big family drama. Decides to step in and help David. She says, David, they're coming to murder you. You need to run. You need to go into isolation really now. And so David, who's probably had some of the most tumultuous years in his life, gone from being anointed as the future king of Israel, from defeating the champion Goliath, goes on the run and begins living in caves, sleeping on rocks. Imagine how he was feeling in that moment. Well, we're going to explore some of that feeling in a bit, but for now I'm going to hand you back to Noah and Lucy, and I will see you in a few minutes' time.
Fantastic, thank you, Ben. I can't wait to hear the next part of the story. But now we've got a new segment for you.
Oh, a cheeky new segment?
Yeah.
I was so excited to show you this one. We have had this thought for a while, and now
it's come into being.
It's come to being.
It's David's Corner.
David, over to your corner.
Welcome to an introduction to cooking with me, David. I've been cooking since before I can remember. I went to culinary school, and today we're going to be cooking one of my favourite recipes, which is cupcakes. Actually, in this cookbook, one of my favourite artistes, or cooks, as they say, Gordon Ramsay. 3 rules for today. Rule number 1, have fun. Rule number 2 is learn. And rule number 3, make money. I'm going to be selling these bad boys for £10 a piece. So let's talk about sugar. Education, you can get sugar from 2 sources, cane and beet. But then you can get all types of sugar, because you can get caster sugar, or you can get granulated sugar, or you can get icing sugar, or you can get brown sugar, or you can get brown icing sugar. Next we have flour. Of course we have milk. Now I'm all for you if you're vegan, if you're dairy free. No problem at all. So after we've made these cupcakes, let's make sure these are vegan friendly and we can take the milk out afterwards. Or you could get icing beet sugar, or you could get granulated brown icing sugar, or you could get cane brown. You could get basmati is a type of sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that just about do it, I reckon. Ratatouille is known as a sugar. Linguine, that's sugar. That is a good mixture we got going on there. Fantastic. That's going to mix really well. And salt. We got butter. We've got eggs. Now I don't know about you, but I love to be a bit cheeky, and I love cupcake mixture before they've been baked. So I'm just going to dig in right now and get some of this. Oh, that is really nice. Milk, sugar, and let's put some butter in there as well. So we can either go for the old-fashioned method with a good old wooden spoon mixer, but these days, if you fancy, you'll have an electronic mixer. Now what you're trying to do is very steadily Fill every cup. You don't want one to be more filled than the other. Just right on in there. Keep it going nice and steady. Wow, yeah. Fantastic. I don't know about you, but I think that's looking really good. Okay, it's time to put these babies in. Okay, let's get them out, see how they're doing. Wow, that has turned out really well, if I do say so myself. Just going to show it to you from a few different angles. And cooking's all about timing, and maybe I could have put this in for a little bit longer in the oven, but I think that has turned out as one of my best, so I'm very pleased with that. Now I'm just going to light this candle and say bon appetit.
Wow, thank you, David.
That is
I've watched that about 7 times now.
Yeah.
I flipping love it.
so funny.
Can I say, David's Corner will be a regular thing as long as we can get it.
Yeah, and also that cake that David made, that is actually your birthday cake, Abby.
Well done,
And
Abby!
it will be coming to the post in you, to you.
In 2020. It's an internal postage service.
Oh, that was bad.
That was a bad joke.
Right, yeah, I feel like our stupid challenge is just not going to live up to that.
You know what? Stupid challenge. Benjamin Hola, over to you.
Hello and welcome back to another stupid challenge. This week, our contestants must put on as many clothes as possible within 2 minutes. But we're in the wrong location for that, so let's head inside and meet the contestants.
Ah, that's so much effort. I'm going to teleport.
Getting a new uniform.
What do you think, Plant?
Now we've met our contestants, let's head over to the first attempt from the Big Friendly Ginge.
2, 1, go!
Lizzie!
Help me! I can't see!
Well, that was an impressive amount of clothes. So, let's see how our next contestant does. The Gulk.
3, 2, 1, go! Oh, I'm so slow. Camera. Stole this one from Reynolds. Just folded these. Gonna have to fold them again in a minute. Oh, it's getting hot in here. So put on all your clothes. Looking rather good. What would you say? Oh.
So, after this exciting challenge, our winner is the Gulk.
Yes! In your face!
I wore glasses for this!
What? Does it make you more clever?
Makes me clever.
No.
Well, thank you for watching this week's Stupid Challenge, and we'll see you next week.
You suck.
You suck.
The Adventures of Noah and the Duck. Noah once thought, you know what? I want to go on an adventure. Let's see what Duck's doing today. He came to his door and said, knock, knock, knock. Oi, Duck, open up. All right, mate, can you please step a little bit further back? I want to be socially distanced from you. Oh yeah, sorry. Is that right? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, Mr. Duck, I'm just wondering if you would like to go on an adventure today. Nah, I've got family round. But you're meant to be socially distancing. They live with me anyway, and you're not socially distancing when you put your face right there. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, so you don't want to go on an adventure? No, I've got family round. Oh, okay. I'll see you later then. The Adventures of Noah and the Duck.
The Adventures of Noah and the Duck.
That was
Copyright 2020.
yeah, bizarre.
Can I say, Lucy Humphreys, that was blatant cheating.
What?
You cannot use sunglasses and random glasses that we have. We have way too many fake
don't know
glasses.
why.
We
Yeah.
have like 4 or 5 pairs of fake glasses. I really like wearing them.
I don't really
but
care.
it's
'cause
cheating.
I still run. Also, I was doing the editing, so I still run.
Oh, savage. And of course, Noah and the Duck will become a weekly segment. Stay tuned for what adventures Minnie Noz and the Duck get into.
Fantastic. Right, we have now got the third and final part. Over to you, Ben.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're just going to finish up by exploring that story that we looked at earlier in a little bit more depth. And we're specifically going to look at the 3 main characters that we find in there. That's King Saul, David, and David's best mate, Saul's son, Jonathan. Well, let's start with King Saul. King Saul, who had been appointed king by God, for whom being king had become everything, who, when seeing David as a threat to his throne, tried to murder him. God's a great God, and he gives us amazing gifts. But I wonder somehow if during this time you've realized how big some of the gifts God has made have become in your life. Think of some of the things that you were really looking forward to doing maybe this summer, maybe the results you were hoping to get in your exams, or the cricket games you were hoping to play, or the friends you were expecting to see, and the experiences that you were going to have. All, I'm sure, would have been brilliant. But you know, sometimes the gifts we receive can become bigger than the giver. I want you to think about a hypothetical situation. It's my birthday in about a month's time, and for my birthday, Becca gets me the present I really wanted. She gets me a puppy. Yes, I really want a new dog. Somehow my wife thinks that our house is a little bit too small. But she's given in and got me a Cocker Spaniel, and I am so excited. It's going to be my best friend. We're going to go running together. We're going to be just brilliant together. And I start to spend a lot of time with this dog. And I start to spend a lot of money on this dog, getting it all the accessories it could need and the best doggy food it could possibly hope to have. When I get home from work, if in the future I do go back and to work, you know, commuting, it used to be a thing, and come in and say, "Hello, dog, great to see you." How weird and probably wrong would that be if this gift that Becca had kindly given me had become all-encompassing and I'd forgotten the one who had given it to me? See, what I love about God is that when we do that, like the story of the prodigal son, he stands arms open wide and he is ready to forgive us, and he's ready to shower us with his grace, and he is so happy to see us and be back in relationship with us. So if some of God's gifts have become bigger than who he is, you can humbly repent and know that your gracious Father loves you immensely more than you could even imagine. That's wonderful news, isn't it? Next character we can look at is David. David, who had been expected to be named king, who'd been anointed king, who'd been this great champion for the nation Israel, who suddenly finds himself on the run. Imagine being David in that moment. Would you question the purposes of God? Saying, "God, you were supposed to make me king. You were supposed to appoint me to rule over this nation. I was going to do it on your behalf. We were going to be a great team. God, why am I lying in a cave with a rock for a pillow?" Imagine many of us are feeling like that right now. Feeling like there's a sense of delay. Feeling like, why is this happening at this time? This was going to be my last year of school. This wasn't meant to happen now. This was going to be this great summer that I was going to have, but now I'm at home, and we're questioning God's timing and why he's doing things. That's really hard. But you know, God sometimes teaches us the most amazing truths during times where we are tested. It says this in James, says, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials of every kind," because those trials, they produce steadfastness, and that steadfastness produces faith in God. You know, God does things by his timing. I'm reminded of one of my great heroes, Nelson Mandela, who was in prison for 27 years for fighting against the atrocities of apartheid in South Africa, but who during those 27 years in prison realized that the answer to all of South Africa's problems was not violence, it was not revenge, in fact it was forgiveness. And when he became president under the watch of Archbishop Desmond Tutu, a follower of God, South Africa set up the Historical Truth and Reconciliation Committee, where enemies sat across from each other and forgave one another and reconciled themselves with each other. Amazing that where you would have expected violence, there was forgiveness, there was reconciliation. Truly, that saved many lives. And God, maybe it took 27 years to convince Nelson Mandela that that was the right course of action. We don't know, but God does everything in his time. And we can trust God that during this time of frustration, and I get it, this week has been for me one of the most frustrating weeks that I've had during this time of lockdown. We can trust that his ways are higher than our ways, and he has a plan, and it will bless us. If anything, that it will make us trust in God that much more. Which leads me to my last point, Jonathan. What an amazing man Jonathan is, who by rights should have been the future king of Israel, but coming into contact with David, he gives him his robe, he gives him his armor, he gives him his sword, in a way foreshadowing that one day David would be king over Israel. You know that Jesus was like that for us. He swapped his place with ours. He took on all of the sin and the shame that we deserved and died on a cross in our place, that we could become children of God. It says in John 1, to all who did receive him, to those who believed in him, he gave the right to become children of God. And in Ephesians it says that we are adopted into God's family. In Roman times, when a man adopted a person into sonship in his household, sometimes a way of redeeming his slaves, he would give him a robe, like Jonathan gave David. And he would walk through the town saying, this is my son. See him, who once may have been a slave, he once may have been a boy in the gutter, now raised up to sonship. God does that with us. He walks down and says, look at my sons and my daughters. I love them. I care for them. We can give thanks to God that because of what Jesus has done, we get to become sons and daughters of the Most High God. And I can think of no better way to celebrate that than to worship him right now. Have a lovely week. Welcome you. Continue to trust in God. Continue to give him praise for all that he has given you. Continue to believe that he has a plan during these most difficult of times, and celebrate that you are sons and daughters of the Most High God today. That's fantastic news. Have a great week.
Say
Oh, that was great. Thank you, Mel, and thank you, Ben. It's so great to be reminded that God needs to be the centre of our lives. That and even if we do stray away, He's always there waiting for us to come back, and He is always ready to forgive us and let Him back. Come back into our lives. I'm not just going to pray, and then we're going to have our guest challenge, our church challenge. Woohoo! So, Noz, can you pray for us?
Yes.
And then we will go on.
Lord, I thank you that you are our best friend. Thank you that you are way more than that. Thank you that you are the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Thank you that you spoke us into being, Lord Jesus. I thank you that we can devote our lives to you. When we're distracted, we can turn our eyes to you, Lord Jesus. Thank you that you are the thing that we can trust in. Thank you that you are the King. Thank you that you teach us that in the hard times you are always there and that you have a plan and a hope for us. Lord, I am amazed by you. Amen.
Oh man! Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the church challenge with our lovely cooks.
Ooh, the cooks this week.
You.
So I've been challenged to crack, separate and whisk an egg in just 1 minute. You can see I don't have a lot of faith. I've got my towel around me and I'm ready to go.
And yes, I am wearing protective clothing.
This is never going to go well. Your time starts now.
We can definitely say that Audrey was a big fat loser. That was Craig, I think.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much to our cooks for taking part in that.
Thank you so much.
And for getting eggy. It was very good. Very
Audrey
funny.
lost.
Sorry. Brilliant. Well, that is it from us. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. We hope you had a bundle of laughs.
Just before you go, don't forget
Zoom's changing, so if you will get a message at some point this week, an email,
either to you or your parents,
explaining which group you're going to be in, who your leader's going to be, who you're going to be with.
Yeah.
We have prayer meetings.
Remember my challenge. Try and get to one a week. If it's if you can't get to one, please be at the Thursday at 1 o'clock because we would love to see your faces.
We would. And so they are at 8:30 in the morning or 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Or if you can't make any of those,
on a Saturday
always
at
join
10.
us on Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Woo.
Okay, other things around the world, make sure you get those miles in and send them to around the world at welcomechurch.something.
.uk.
.uk, there you go.
Lucy really
I
good
can't
at
remember it.
them. And the last one, church. Guys, we are church and we are still going along. You are an amazing, important part of the church. So please come along. Online. Alright, we will see you a week today.
Next Friday at 7:30.
Rock on!
We'll see you there.
Peace!
Bye!